Hello everybody, this is JD. I want you all to understand now that we are beginning to enter the presidential campaign of 2012. Now that the congressional elections, midterm elections, are over, it's time to start seriously thinking about who do you want? What type of man do you want for president? You want a man who believes that the federal government should be more powerful, have more authority. Let me tell you, you all know this book, the Constitution of the United States. Do you believe a man who stands before you and says we should have term limits set by the federal government? Should we? Should we have term limits? Let me go through the Constitution. It's already in the Constitution. Yes, it is. It's already in the Constitution. Let me find it for you. Let's go. We'll start off at the very beginning of the Constitution. It says, all legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of the Senate and a House of Representatives. And let's see, now we look through here, it tells you how to set up the Congress, the House, and how to set up the Senate, the President, what he shall consist of. Oh, yes, it's all there. But we're looking for term limits. How long should a president be a president? So let's find it. Oh, I found it. It's right here, in plain English, writing who and what the term limits should be. Yep, it's written in the Constitution. Let me read it to you. Term limits, okay? It's called Amendment 10. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the state, are reserved to the state respectively, or to the people. There's where it is. Do you want to take that power away from the state now? Term limits can be set in any and all states. Yes, they can. But not by the federal government, by the states. Now, you can give this authority to the federal government if you wish. But then, don't look my way, because you see, I feel every little step more that you give the federal government greatly enhances its power. There's an example. Term limits alone is a very example of how the federal government gets more and more power, grows larger and larger. Now, do you want a man who can stand before you and say, oh, we need to set the term limits of the congressmen and senators? Or someone who says it's up to you, the people, and your states, not the federal government. They're your representatives. Also, do you want a man who believes that to stop problems, you go to the very top of big business? Or do you want one who believes that go to where the problem is and fix it? To stop foreclosures, not to give the money to the people at the top so they can get bonuses and jobs, but to actually stop foreclosures and keep people in their homes and work with the people. That's the job of the federal government, not to work with the companies. Do you want a man who believes that we as a nation should be more concerned about advancing the technical jobs in this country? The office jobs, the service jobs, while manufacturing is fleeting this country at such a rate that we can no longer stand upon our own two very feet to exist? We are dependent upon the very people who wish to destroy us. Do you want a man that believes that the security of a nation on the other side of the world is more important and will sacrifice American lives while our own borders, Americans, between, for example, Mexico and the United States, are dying? Do you want a man that believes that the federal government should be the first person to get the money that you have earned out of your sweat and hard labor, or believes that it should be based on your ability to spend and allow you to save for your future by not taking away immediately what you have earned? Do you want a man who believes that the American people is who served by the Constitution and our Congress, not the rest of the world? Do you want a man who believes the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and when it comes to the United States of America, tells the UN, whoa, you better stop right there. This is a sovereign nation, and you will start respecting the United States as a sovereign nation? And do you want a man who feels that each and every sovereign nation needs to be respected as a sovereign nation, and it's up to the people of that nation to decide what type of government and who shall rule them, or what government shall be in place, not us, the United States? These are the types of things we have problems with our government. Do you want a man who will stand before Congress and say your job is to serve the American people, not the rest of the world? The people come first. I have no problem with you building hospitals throughout the world, but first you will ensure that every hospital. I have no problem with Congress building schools throughout the world, but the United States will have the best there possibly could be before you spend 1 cent overseas. I have no problem feeding the world, but no child in this nation will ever go hungry before you spend a cent overseas. These are the things I truly believe. I believe that our Congress and our government is to serve you. I believe that foreclosures need to be stopped, not by giving banks billions of dollars, but actually stopping them from happening until this economic crisis is over, and it can be done. A nation that depends on itself for all, not the rest of the world, because there is no manufacturing or any substantial manufacturing within this country. A nation who believes in ecology, that believes our lands and air is precious, yet do not hinder the American family and livelihoods. A nation that believes science will take us forward and we need to advance far beyond the fossil fuel stage and era. Far beyond. A man who understands global warming as a real natural occurrence and how we need to prepare if it continues or if we should go into global cooling. These are a few of the things that you need to look at. A man who looks at things before he makes a decision. Not make a decision and then say, oops, sorry, I didn't really look at all the facts. A man who has experience as a leader. And believe me, a chief of the Navy has a lot of experience as a leader. I've been leading men since I was a third-class petty officer, running shops, running organizations, running complexes. I've had more authority as a chief petty officer than some CEOs of companies have had. So, you look at me. You got videos from July of 2008. Check them out. See what I say. That is the truth, and that's all it is. Also, man, that's not politically correct, so I can't lie to you. I have to speak the truth. A man who believes his word is who he is. And if your word has no value, then you have no value. So, yes, I am a candidate for 2012 President of the United States. You all have a good night. Check me out and check out the Constitutionalist Party. Thank you.